Hello, I'm Dae-Jung. Let me introduce my thesis. The actual, the actual conditions and strengthening plans of the National Physical Education Curriculum. Content is as follows. Introduction, research methods, results, suggestions. The national curriculum, which is developed to implement to the national educational purpose and the ideal of a person, sets the direction of education. Therefore, the national curriculum is a guide to education for teachers, who are the main subjects of education. However, the problems of relationship between theory and practice in the national curriculum, which has been raised for a long time, make no progress despite various studies. The national curriculum as a document is meaningful when it is fully put into practice, considering the social cost and time and researchers' efforts to develop a curriculum, as well as the educational accountability to realize the ideal of a person required by society. The problems of theory and practice in the curriculum that have been continued for decades are truly dear to us. Therefore, it needs to figure out whether it is a problem of national curriculum development or structural problem that is conveyed to school teachers after curriculum development, or a lack of professionalism of school teachers, and then seek the ways to properly implement the educational objectives of the national curriculum in the field. Therefore, this study aimed to figure out the actual condition of the national curriculum implementation for physical education teachers and to suggest a plan to solve the problems of curriculum theory and practice based on this. The progress of this study are divided into 4 steps. In step 1, this study set up the base direction of research. Example, the survey method and analysis of national curriculum implementation. Devise the plan to promote curriculum implementation and specifics the plan. In step 2, a survey of physical education teachers was conducted to investigate the implementation level of the physical education curriculum by means of the questionnaire on the actual condition or curriculum implementation developed through consultations with experts. In step 3, the plan for promoting curriculum implementation was derived through intellectual research and questionnaire research, and the specific method for each application was examined. In step 4, a summary of the research and suggestions were proposed. In order to examine the actual conditions of the physical education curriculum, middle and high school physical education teachers across the country, except for new physical education teachers in 2020, were decided as the subjects of this study. The questionnaire survey was performed for each region through neighbor office form, and the data of 301 subjects were used for actual analysis. This part is the result. First, analysis of the actual conditions of physical education curriculum implementation. The understand level of the 2015 revised physical education curriculum document. In conclusion, more than 40% of physical education teachers show a low level of understanding in the area of physical education objectives, content system, achievement, standards, and teaching, learning, and evaluation, except the area of physical education character. In particular, 63.1% of physical education teachers in the area of content system and achieved standards shows a low level of understanding as shown in Table 4. Second, the implementation level of the 2015 revised physical education curriculum. As a result, more than 50% of physical education teachers shows a low level of understanding in the content area and evaluation of health challenges, expression, and safety, excluding the competition area. Especially 93.5% of the physical education teachers showed a low level of implementation in the expression area. Table 5 shows the implementation level in the 2015 revised physical education curriculum. Third, the third is the cause of difficulties in implementing the physical education curriculum perceived by physical education teachers. According to the result of a question about the cause of difficulties in implementing the physical education curriculum perceived by physical education teachers. Physical education teachers who answered realistic constraints such as time, space, tools, and school environment show the highest rate with 45.7%, followed by 39.8% abstraction of the curriculum, 36% lack of self-interest, 27.6% lack of learning about the application of the curriculum at college, and 20.5% lack of training at the national level. In this study, the plans for strengthening the field implementation of the physical education curriculum was suggested in terms of personal aspects such as improving the competence and interests of physical education teachers for the curriculum implementation, as well as physical education curriculum documents, curriculum governance, and physical education curriculum, rather than the aspect of school environment such as time, physical education infrastructure, tools, and school atmosphere. This part is the plan to strengthen the field implementation of the physical education curriculum. First, at the level of P curriculum documents. This study suggested that it needs to select valuable, powerful knowledge as the curriculum content and improve the content system of the physical education curriculum. Second, at the curriculum governance level, is suggested the plan at the Ministry of Education, the Korea Institute for Curriculum and Evaluation, the Office of Education, and the school level. It also proposed that the Ministry of Education and KICE should develop reference materials for physical education and provide the opportunities for physical education teachers to voluntarily improve their professionalism when the physical education curriculum is revised. In addition, the Office of Education should strengthen training to properly implement the physical education curriculum in the field, and a culture of cooperation should be fostered at the school level to enhance professionalism. Third, at the level of teachers' college, is suggested that the physical education curriculum should be strengthened in the three directions with a focus on pedagogical content. First, it needs to emphasize the importance of a field-oriented course among pedagogical content course as a mandatory subject. Establish a teaching and evaluation course in the physical education curriculum in the first or second semester of the fourth grade, and increase the number of pedagogical content professors. Based on these results, the suggestions for follow-up studies are as follows. First, research on physical education teachers should be conducted in terms of the physical education curriculum implementation. 36.1% of PE physical education teachers who participated in this study perceived their lack of interest as a cause of difficulties in implementing the physical education curriculum. However, this study saw ways to improve the field implementation of the physical education curriculum at the level of curriculum documents, curriculum governance, and the curriculum of Teachers College, excluding physical education teachers related factors. Therefore, studies should be conducted on the main player such as PE teachers, personal characteristics, professionalism, and interest in the curriculum, which can promote the physical education curriculum implementation. Second, research on the improvement of educational practice should be conducted to strengthen the field implementation of the physical education curriculum. Singapore, which is a role model for many countries, policy makers, and educators in the field of education, divides education practice into 4 stages: 2-week school experiment just before the first semester of second grade, 4-week educational assistance just before the first semester of third grade, 5-week training practice 1 just before the first semester of fourth grade, and 10-week training practice 2 just before the second semester of fourth grade to encourage the professionalism of teachers. Therefore, research should be conducted to improve 4 weeks of educational practice in Korea in order to strengthen the implementation of the physical education curriculum. Thank you.